Greetings to all of my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video is going to be seen and shared. It's Celine Driver once again, bringing you another unboxing and review of another watch that I own. I own this one from my very, very favorite brand of all the watch brands that I own, Zelos. Yes, I bought another Zelos. Big shock. I think the only person I know of that has a bigger Zelos addiction than me is my good buddy Joshua Evil Sizer. Shout out to my friend Joshua Evil Sizer. He has a YouTube channel himself called Horology Insanity or something. Yeah, Horology Insanity. And it's a good channel. You should check that out. But he is got actually a bigger Zelos collection than I do, which I find surprising. But then again, they're like potato chips. You just can't have one. Before I open this box, I'm going to go on a little rant. Something that I think most of you need to hear this, and it shows. So if you're one of these several people that are timing me and then posting up later saying, "Oh, you took 4.5 minutes before we even saw the watch," you might want to skip ahead a little bit because you're not going to see the watch until I finish saying what I have to say. But most of you need to hear this, and it shows. I'm a very frequent flyer on the Zelos Timekeepers group on Facebook. I'm a major contributor on there. Hell, it was 3 or 4 people on there hung the tag Mr. Zelos on me in the Timekeeper group. So I'm fairly well known on there. And I read a lot of stuff on there. And my God, folks, this particular watch, and you know from the title of this thing, this is the 40mm Swordfish stainless steel. And yes, it did have a bit of a longer cycle time between when it was released and when they finally started getting ship labels and you got your tracking numbers. And I know there are a few people, even still as I make this video in early March of 2021, that some people even still haven't gotten tracking numbers yet. You know, if there's one thing I've learned about Zelos specifically and Elshan Tang, the owner, and talking to him frequently, it's this guy and this company are as reliable as the sun rising in the east and setting in the west. It's as reliable as death and taxes. You're going to get your watches. There are mitigating circumstances surrounding the supply chain of getting pretty much everything nowadays. And believe me, I know a lot of you are probably screaming at your screens right now, but Celine Driver, you've gone on multiple rants about, horrible shipping times from the post office in America and even FedEx and to a lesser extent UPS. Yes, I know all that. And I have a personal vendetta against the United States Postal Service. But that's me venting more than anything else. I understand these things. Remember, these are not built by Elshan specifically. Now, he packs them up and ships them, but they're being built in China. And China has its own rules, its own way of doing things, its own holiday schedule, etc., etc. Not to mention that there is right now, as I sit here and speak, a major bottleneck with FedEx in their Chinese distribution block. Not to mention the Singapore area. But China is a big hang-up right now, and so is Singapore. This is due to the global situation. Everyone knows what that is. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to get demonetized. But y'all know what it is if you're watching this thing in 2021. You all know what we just went through in 2020. You all should know that this affects things around the world. It is inconceivable to me how people who are, some of you are longtime buyers of Zelos watches from Zelos. You know 100% of the time you've gotten your watches. It usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks from the time you order on day one until you get a tracking number. Usually 2 weeks, sometimes 3. This one took 3 to 4 weeks. Oh well. Now, even though I have good communication with Elshan, I'm a big buyer of Zelos watches, both myself and my father. I don't get any special treatments. I don't get free watches. I don't get discounts. I get my watch the same way everyone else gets their watch. I buy them from Zelos directly on launch day, or sometimes I buy them on the secondary market through the Timekeeper Group or maybe eBay. So I'm nobody special. I'm no different from you guys. I don't get treated any different than you guys. And I waited just as long to get this watch as you waited to get your watch or are waiting to get your watch. The watch shows up. Relax, for God's sake. This is first world problems. There are many, many bigger problems out there in the world right now than your Zelos watch took a week or two longer to deliver this time than it did the last time. Relax, people. Trust Elshan. Trust the company. Trust the process. End of rant. What I got here? I've got a Swordfish in the 40mm size. It's the first one I bought in the 40mm size. It was in the last release. And it has a dial on it that, well, you've read the title, so you know what the dial is. I've never had a dial like this before, and I'm really looking forward to this. Obviously, I've already opened it up, so I was really looking forward to this one. Now, this is the new Zelos packaging. This started with the 40mm Swordfish in steel. It's thinner. It's still the same black sleeve. It's just a lot thinner. It's still the same cigar style wood box. It's just thinner because Elshan went ahead and changed up the case on us. Instead of the watch roll, which has been around since 2016 or 17, we now have a folio style. And I got to tell you, I wish you had smell-o-vision because, it smells good. Really nice zippered closure. And inside you have one of those. You have 4 watch bays like you've normally had, although of course now you stick the watch head in the pouch and you put the strap or the bracelet into the snap enclosure like here. And one of these pouches has the card. It's hard to get out, so I'm not going to bother. That hasn't changed. The metal card hasn't changed. And here we have, and this is very nice and softly lined, so it's going to protect your watch really nice. And here we have my number 36 of 150 Swordfish 40mm stainless steel with the blue mother of pearl dial. And I've never had a watch in mother of pearl before. I've never even entertained owning a watch in mother of pearl before, because most of mother of pearl watches you see are the white pinkish kind, and I'm not a fan of that aesthetic. But this one struck me when I saw the picture of it on the website, and I said, I gotta have this watch just to give it a try. And I ain't sorry. Not a bit. Have that beautiful swordfish artwork on the back. Very standard stuff. It's just basically, it's basically a 2mm smaller version of the 42mm Swordfish watches that I've owned many of and loved them all. Little change on the bracelet, though, and I think a good change, in my opinion. This is a big change, and I think a good one. This style bracelet with this style clasp, up to this point, it had that spring-loaded thing, adjuster in here where you kind of dug your nail in and pulled real hard and then shoved this thing around. And it only had 3 positions, really. This one kept the same style clasp, which I like, with the nice Zelos logo that's in satin finish inside, the polished area. But this one has a conventional spring bar in here, the spring bar micro adjust. And you have, as you can see, 6 different positions to play with. Now, yeah, you lose the advantage of being able to adjust the watch on the fly. You're going to need a tool or a safety pin, or not safety pin, safety clip or whatever, paper clip. Thank you. I'll get the words out. Don't worry. I speak good English. I speak 2 languages actually, English and bad English. Ha ha ha. Anyway, other than that, same milled out clasp we've always been familiar with the double lock closure, so it ain't going anywhere. Push button deploy after you unfold. Screw down crown, screw down case back. Nice faceting, and I think this is probably one of the better bezel movements I've encountered on a Swordfish, 40 or 42 millimeter. I have actually encountered 40 before, I just didn't own it. And the owner of it asked me not to make a video of it. So, lines up perfectly. Again, always with the high quality. You have the quick release spring bars on the bracelet now, which I think is an excellent addition. I hope Elshan continues to do that. But overall, I like this kind of clasp better. It gives you more adjustability. It's a little more flexible. Yes, you need some kind of tool to do it, but, where have you ever been that you couldn't find a paper clip you could unfold real quick and pop those spring bars around? I'm going to put it on. 40 millimeter is usually at the low end. 39, 40 millimeter is usually at the low end of watches that I wear that I like. This one wears a little bigger, in my opinion, than the 40 millimeter diameter. It has a good presence across the wrist like that, and the lug to lug. It doesn't look tiny. I mean, it's obviously smaller than a 42 millimeter, but it doesn't look, silly small on my 7¼ inch wrist. So very happy about that. Oh, and adjustability on this thing was, nothing. I mean, it was a screwdriver, and I think I took 3 links out, and it took me a grand total of 5 minutes. So easy to adjust this thing on the fly. Not on the fly, but when you get it. So just an easy watch to work with. The screws were all tight and secure, just like you would expect them to be coming from Zelos. Just a high quality build as usual. Every time, no slop either. So just a beautiful watch. I love the way the light plays on that mother. I hope the camera picks it up. I have LED lights above me up here, so hopefully the brightness of the light will pick that up. Out in the sunshine, this watch should pop beautifully. Screw down crown, of course. It disengages with a nice audible pop, and you can feel it. There is no slop in the crown at the first position. Pull it out twice. It hacks the movement. Again, no slop in the crown. Threads re-engage very nicely. Again, good quality stuff. Signed crown, of course. We have the sheet of facts here, so I can tell you a bit more about the vital statistics of this watch. This is the Zelos 40mm Swordfish in the blue mother of pearl dial. It is equipped with a black ceramic bezel insert on a stainless steel bezel. Nice grip area, so even if your fingers were wet or you're wearing gloves, you should be able to rotate this very easily. It is a 40mm diameter case, 46mm on the lug-to-lug, 12mm thick to a flat crystal, 20mm lug width. 200-meter water resistance. It is a true diver. You should have no compunction at all about taking this thing in a pool or swimming, snorkeling, scuba diving, what have you. This thing will take it. It uses an NH35 movement. Again, people have been complaining about the NH35. I think this was $329 watch. And people complain about it still. They want a Swiss movement. Oh, okay. Swiss movement would have doubled the price. Well, maybe not double it, but increase the price. To what end, I have no idea. NH35 is a Seiko movement. If the watch goes down and it's out of warranty, any watchmaker in your local vicinity should be able to put this thing back to rights very quickly. Or hell, you could do it yourself. You could probably find NH35 movements all over the internet all day at $50 and under. Pop the case off, pop the old movement out, pop the new one in. Done. I don't know why people complain about micro brands using Miyota movements or Seiko movements or ETA clones like Salida, whatever. Why don't you think about the serviceability of the watch down the line if you plan on keeping it? Now, if you're a flipper for life, like all of my Watchaholics Anonymous guys, you're probably going to hold on to the watch just long enough to let it breathe for a minute and then flip the damn thing. So you're not worried about longevity of the movement, but I keep my watches, so I am. 120 click bezel. I think I mentioned that already. It is a sapphire crystal with a inner AR coating. And it's a flat crystal, beautifully done. Stainless steel case, stainless steel bracelet. We know this. Just a lovely, lovely watch. Well worth the wait. I waited 4 weeks, guys. Like I said in my rant at the beginning of this video. Things took a little longer this time with this watch, and I know the bronze version of this is already released, and that might take the same amount of time. It's the same manufacturing process, so patience. It's gonna be all right. You're gonna get your watch. It's gonna happen. Just be a little patient. You will be rewarded. I definitely feel like I've been rewarded for my patience. This is a beautiful watch. And once again, Elshan, you knocked it out of the park. I mean, we're going to start calling you Hank Aaron because you knock it out of the park so much. I know these are all sold out now, or mostly sold out now, but if you can find one on the secondary market and you want the thing, don't hesitate. Pull the trigger. It's well worth the money to get one of these. So, Mr. Zelos recommended. And that brings me to the end of this video, my wrap-up speech. If you liked the video, and I hope you did, I hope you found it entertaining, informative, and useful, please click that thumbs up button for me. That does help with the YouTube search algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to appear in a YouTube search. And the more thumbs up a video gets and it appears in a search, the higher up on the search it will be. So it helps bring people to the channel. And I am still trying to grow this channel. I will always be trying to grow this channel. Comments, questions, suggestions down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you post links in my comment section to bad places on the internet, I will delete the comment. I will block the commenter. Likewise, if you're going to be one of those lovely little trolls that I seem to attract more often than I should, and you're going to post nastiness in my comment section, I'm going to, again, delete the comment and block the commenter. If you're new to the channel, of course, welcome. Very happy you're here. I have well over 400 videos now that you can peruse at your leisure and enjoy yourself. All I ask is before you leave, click the subscribe button. Little red button down there in the lower right below the play window. Right next to it will be the bell icon. Click that too, please, so that when I upload new content, you are alerted. And when I do one of my live streams, which I do every Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, or whenever time and opportunity permit me to do, I will do live streams, and you will be alerted when those start. Saying all that, I customarily always wish all of you to have a good day, be safe, be well, be careful out there, and I'll see you in my next video.